I've worked with a lot of business owners, a lot of brands, and I have seen without a shadow of a doubt this one thing being a differentiating factor with whether their content works or if it doesn't. Now, this is going to stretch you, but I'm going to show you some examples that are going to shock you of why this actually works. If you're putting out newsletter content online, stop outsourcing it. We have become so obsessed with scaling everything that we strip out the heart, the soul, the connection in our content and just think we can give it to someone else and it's going to work. It's not. And again, I'm going to show you some examples that's going to blow your mind. Am I saying that you need to edit all your videos? No. Am I saying that you need to write the emails to your membership community? Maybe not, but I am going to present to you an alternative view with content creation that will save you time and money and actually is going to work. So here's the dealio. If you do not feel it, they will not feel it. People are drawn to conviction. They're drawn to people who are lit up. They're drawn to people who are laughing and enjoying what they're creating. Check out this tip from social media expert Nikki Saunders.
We overthink.
Oh boy.
So if we sit here and say, I think this is going to work, but I don't know, your first instinct was fine. It'll probably work. You see what I'm saying? I could bet you've put out some content and you didn't think it was going to work. It was probably a throwaway, or you're like, yo, I got to do something real quick. And it works all the time. The ones that you put hours on never really work. I go more on let's say you say something for about 5 minutes. What was the part that you remembered the most? Cut that one up. Cut right there. That's the part you should cut up, and then allow data to pick out the rest and see what happens. But we tend to overthink. The second that we watch something and we make a face out of it, like, that was good. That's the part. That's anything that makes you react is probably going to make somebody else react.
You cannot outsource that passion, that feeling, that emotion. Because whether people consciously know it or not, they know it's not you because of the energy behind it. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. Now, folks will be like, well, I'm too busy. I'm too successful to make my own content. My time is too valuable. Did you know Matt Rife still edits his clips? This is from my friend comedian Joel Byers, who recently opened up for Matt. And on his podcast, Hot Breath, he said...
And at the end of it, Matt was like, yeah, so I'll edit this one, that one, and that one, and then I'll send them to you, and you can touch them up on the plane or whatever. Because, like, Matt he still edits his clips.
That's the first pass. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible, dude.
His video guy, of course, like, he'll go in and add the multiple angles and the captions and all that. But Matt's the one who's like, here's the clips, and then here's the timing. Like, he goes through and he edits basically like the first draft, and then his guy Kyle will go in and like fancy it up for social media. But like, this guy made over 60 mil last year on touring alone. Not to mention he was in Atlanta filming an Owen Wilson movie. Like,
for sure. Yeah.
He was here for a week, but he was doing 14-hour days on top of these theater shows. So and he's editing his clips still. So you know what? I filmed my sets this weekend for the first time in a long time because I was like, who am I?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Lindsay Stirling, touring violinist. She still is involved in the editing of her music videos.
So I'm going to be editing today, and I'm very excited about this. I've always talked a lot about how I edit my own videos, but there's never been any proof. So here's some proof. Not that any of you didn't believe me, but
Gary Vaynerchuk, huge ass business. Doesn't have to, but check this out.
Do you have a team that ghostwrites it and then you tweak it, or did you write that original?
Nope. This, as you can see, they give me the content.
Okay.
Like, we talk a lot with each other about what content. They're putting out content. They give me the things that they think I'll like, and there it is. So, like, think about where I'm at, and I'm writing my own Gary V words, literally typing with my own fingers. And we have so many people that get like 6 months of success and outsource.
At the end of the day, I think we've become lazy, and also we're scared, because putting out your own content, using your own words, showing your own face is so freaking vulnerable. and requires you to step up to the plate and be seen. It requires you to give out a lot of energy and heart, yes. But again, that is what people are connected to. They know when something is made from a genuine place or is just some robotic crap that's getting thrown up everywhere. I don't know about you, but I have been impacted by content from online podcasts, YouTube. I recently interviewed writer and actor Will Reynolds, and he said,
it actually does have the potential to impact the world and impact their world. And that really isn't it isn't BS. It really is real. It really is real because you experienced it, because you just went through the process yourself with the last thing you encountered, right? And that led you to feeling more expanded. And that led you to experiencing what life is all about. And maybe that led you to treat people in a certain way, right? So you have had the experience. You can't deny it. So how can that not be what you provide when you get perceived and when you allow yourself to go in front of them, to go in front and be the one who says, I'll let you look at me. I will let you look at me because I know the medicine that I will provide. And so I'm willing to be perceived. I will let you look at me. And that's actually another great claim statement. I will let you look at me, because that's kind of the biggest thing that we get hung up on.
So good.
Like, we're the one, but what we've decided, we want to be the ones who carry the torch. And we're like, I have a message. Like, listen. If that's so, you have to be willing to be seen.
Now, granted, there may be a time in our lives, I've definitely experienced it, where in creating, we lose that spark. We're not outsourcing it. We're trying to put stuff out and the well just freaking runs dry. In a recent interview, YouTube coach Adam Ivy gave this advice.
There's people even in parks here that'll stop you and like, hey, have you heard the good word of the Lord? Hey, do you want to learn about Jesus? Hey, can I introduce Jesus into your life? Why are those people more passionate about trying to bring that into my life than musicians talking about their music? Why are those people more passionate about that, doing it for free most times, than the business owner that has a solution, has a product, has an offer that can change people's lives, but they're too bashful to talk about it? They're too nervous that people are going to think that they're salesy. But the little kid who's chasing runners and bikers down to sell lemonade, and they're excited about their lemonade, even if the lemonade sucks, like, there's something that just is so good about talking to other people who are passionate about something. It's so when you're making content, if you don't feel that spark, think about how you're presenting it. Think about the story you're telling. Put yourself back in the position where 17 years ago you were in that exact same place where you're trying to meet them at. You know, a lot of times the content that we make in some weird ways talking to a version of ourselves that's 5, 10, 20 years younger. The passion and the charisma and the confidence are all like a very, very powerful cocktail for people to find success and find true happiness and fulfillment.
So what should you outsource? At some point, you're going to get busy. You're going to have to scale your efforts, and there are decisions that you're going to have to make. I love this quote I recently heard from Jesse Itzler, where he says, you can't outsource soul. You cannot outsource soul. So what is the soul of your work? What is the message? The words, the literal voice. Please, creators, do that work. Stuff that is not necessarily the voice, the heart, the passion, is setting up automations, repetitive editing stuff, things that anyone could do. But please don't outsource the thing that is going to connect people with your work, which is you. And if you do have to have somebody from your team put something out for you, just freaking be honest about it. Hey, Heather here from so-and-so's team, here to remind you about our call coming up. I mean, don't use a VA and pretend it's you. Folks know this stuff. I think it's so important to really enter into this next phase of the internet as very honest about our humanity, very clear with our voice, because as AI is coming in and more people are just trying to put out. That sounds crazy. I think those who lean into their humanity is really going to have the upper hand. So now this is heavy, deep. It may have made you feel a little bit uncomfortable. I'd love to hear from you. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you comment down below. Do you think any of this crap matters? I think it does, but that's just me. I don't know. See y'all next time.